everyone. Welcome to the Walking in Aloha Let's Talk Story podcast and day one of the 90-day Jumpstart Challenge. It's day one of the Always. Aloha Always Challenge. So, like I said before, sorry, my nose. Um, I was going to come on and I was going to start a 90-day challenge. A 90-day challenge of aloha, affirmations and actions, leadership and love, overcoming obstacles, and health and healing. And that is what I'm going to do here today. Um, I will be on every day, hopefully every day. I'll try my bestest to do something every day, whether I come on live or I post for the next 90 days. And it will be all a part of the Aloha Always framework, like I've been teaching for the past couple of years through my book, Walking in Aloha Let's Talk Story. No, that's the podcast. Walking in Aloha 5 Steps to Living Your God Potential Life. So that is what I've been working on and I've been sharing with the world. So today, we're going to start with um, affirmations and actions. Okay, because I believe that without setting that solid foundation and not just stating what you're doing, but really affirming that this is what you need, this is what I need, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to follow through with for the next 90 days. That's the way that we are accountable for ourselves and we choose to do what we need to do to succeed. It's not always easy. Granted, it's not always easy. There's going to be times, and I it happens all the time, where you're like, I just don't want to do it, or I just don't want to walk or exercise or stretch for 30 minutes every day because that's better for my body. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to uh, not have cookies or, whatever it is. To set that solid foundation, to affirm the fact that I'm not getting any younger. I'm not as healthy as I was before. I need to make changes, right? We need to be real with ourselves and we need to just be, we need to come clean if we're going to do something that makes a difference and makes a change in our lives. It was a hard thing when I went from 225 pounds down to 135. It was hard. It was a lot of changes, things that people didn't really understand. They didn't come alongside of me a lot of times. Um, I was looked at as more extreme or whatever because I wanted to make this change in my life. And it was better for me. It was better for my health. It was better for not just my physical health, but my mental health. And I got off all of my medications and everything. So it was a good thing. But a lot of times I didn't feel so supported. I felt like people looked at me like I was a bit extreme. If I said no to things, I was a bit extreme. Um, why not? Why can't you just have this? Or why can't you just eat rice? It's not a big deal. Or everything in moderation, people would tell me, you can do it, everything in moderation. But though it is true, to a sense, everything in moderation, when you are trying to make that drastic change, cutting sugar out and changing the chemistry of your body, to cut sugar out completely is hard. Sugar has addictive properties in it, and it is true that every little bit of sugar affects your body in a way. And when you're cutting sugar out, to say, oh, everything in moderation, just have a little bit here and there, it does impact your body. Okay, so like I said, I went from 225 down to 135. My hugest mistake, my biggest mistake was to think that I could just go back to eating sugar. So I cut sugar out completely. I watched everything I ate. I read labels to make sure that um, it didn't have sugar. I ate clean. Clean meaning if I didn't know what was in it, if there was too many ingredients on the label, I didn't eat it. Um, Clean meaning it's a celery. That is it. I know what it is. Right? There's no dressings on it. There's nothing. That is what I eat. I didn't add things because I needed to know what was in it. It was so much easier to calculate the calories and the sugar intake by eating clean. So that is what I did. And it was hard. And as I'm fighting that battle, right, people didn't understand. They couldn't come alongside of me because they weren't making the change themselves. So it seemed a little much for me to be doing what I was doing. And so they would still offer me the ice cream. They would still offer me the cookies. They would still offer me whatever. And I would have to decline. My hugest mistake after getting clean for years upon years and feeling really good was to think that I could attend this party and be like, oh, you know what? I can have just a little bit of desserts. It was a holiday party and they were doing desserts. You Everybody made like a different dessert for Christmas and you would judge those little bits. So everything was little small bits, right? And you would judge on this thing. And I thought, well, that's so fun, with all the ladies and everything. And I can attend and I can judge because they're tiny little bits. And so I did. And it broke me. Oh my gosh, that was the hardest thing because I went back to eating sugar just that time. And it was so hard not to want sugar, not to crave sugar again, because after that, I wanted it, right? I liked it, I wanted it. And so it was it was hard, it was a challenge. And so I was doing that, and I was like, okay, I didn't want to have to do that anymore. It was in that sense where I was like, okay, I cannot do that anymore. I was not able to stop doing that, and I was like, okay, I don't know what else to do, but it was just hard. So I knew that to think that you can just cut something out and go, right back and be like, oh no, I can do it. It is not that easy. So let's see here.
His keys. He lost his wallet.
Oh, so I was like, okay, let me see. What we're gonna do right now is for day one for the affirmations and actions. Okay, this is day one of 90 days. We're gonna do day one of 90 days. The theme for today is affirmations and actions. Give me 1 second. All right, so speak life, then step into it. It's not enough to just talk the talk, but you need to be able to walk the walk. And though there may be things around you that doesn't always agree with what you're doing, and it's up to you. It's absolutely up to you. It's your choice to do, what you say. So speak life and step into it. The scripture is Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Speak life. I speak life over my future, my family, and my purpose. That is the affirmation for today. I speak life over my future, my family, and my purpose. People may not care. They may disregard what you're doing when you're trying to do something, and they don't see the importance in what you're doing. But to you, it's very important. Don't disregard that. Don't let that deter you. So write down one powerful declaration and say it out loud 3 times a day, right? So for me, I am going to speak life over own my own future, my own life, my family, and my purpose. Um, what I do here using my voice, when there was a time when I didn't, there was a time when I felt that silence was safer. Now I want to be able to come out and speak out. And I encourage other people to speak out. So, in that purpose, I speak life over that. And I I always worry about that crossover between people saying, like, is it Christian or are you getting into the metaphysical or what, like that other kind of woo stuff that people do. Um, no, I am a Christian. I am a daughter of the King. I only believe that there is one God. I do not believe that there is anything else. I believe in a heaven and a hell. And I believe that we are here for a purpose and a calling, and that we were created for a purpose. And whether or not people believe that, whether or not um, people believe that there is a heaven and a hell, and it's totally up to them. I'm not God, and they will stand for that, right? They'll stand in judgment for that on their own. But when I say I speak life over things, I'm not talking about any other weirdness, all that other stuff. What I am doing is that I speak life. I am made in the image of the King. I am a creator. I was created by the Creator to be a creative, and therefore I am made in His image. And when I speak life over something, I believe that what I'm doing is I am speaking and affirming the facts that I know that I have a calling. Those things, right? So that is what I believe. Anyway, so this is already 17 minutes, but what I want to do every day is a 15-minute power boost. 15 minutes, I'm going to come in, I'm going to give you guys a quick power boost for the day, give you the theme for the day. Today's one is on affirmations and actions. And I wanted you to be solid on the affirmation and the action of this 90 days, which is saying, I am going to do this, I'm going to stick to this, I am going to do this because it is good for me, for my family, and for my future and my walk, my call, and everything that I am doing. If I don't take care of myself, then how can I take care of anything else? Andrew Moman has a book called Leader Fit. I just love that book, Leader Fit, because, like he was explaining in that book, how are you to lead if you are not fit to lead? If you are going to be called, how are you going to answer that call if you are not well enough to answer the call? And so, as I am getting busier, as I am getting more, people come on to my podcast, and I am asked to speak, and I am asked to be in the presence of other people to speak on my books or speak on the fact of using your voice and being that model for someone else. Excuse me. I want to do that. I want to be able to be leader fit enough to do, fit enough to lead, fit enough to answer the call of God. All right. So 15 minutes from 11 o'clock every day. I am going to create an event thing. I didn't do it for today, but I am going forward to do that. And so people can see it. Um, October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And as a survivor of domestic violence, I want to just encourage you, if you are in a situation that requires you to speak out, please reach out. Reach out to someone, get safe, get out. I can't stress that enough. There was a poem that I came across the other night, and it just tore me up. It was about receiving flowers. Like, I got flowers today because he did this. I got flowers today because this happened. I got flowers today, right? And it keeps on going. And the things that happened when it kept getting worse, kept getting worse, until at the end it said, I got flowers today because it was my funeral. I wouldn't have gotten flowers today if I walked away. But the flowers are not worth getting. the gifts are not worth getting if what is being taken is far, far more worthy than the flowers and the gifts and the lies and the words that make you feel good for the moment. The I'm sorry's, the I love you's, I won't do it again. Those things. Your life is valuable. Your voice is valuable. Your calling is valuable. Your thoughts, your feelings, you are valuable. So, as I close out for today, I want you to remember that you are not alone. There is someone that you can reach out to, no matter what is told to you, that no one will listen, that no one will care, that they're going to think you're crazy if you said that. Don't believe. Know that there is somebody who understands. There is somebody that will listen, and that you are precious in the eyes of God, and you are worthy enough to speak out and use your voice. So until tomorrow, I want to leave you guys with the scripture again for today. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So what you say, like I said, use your voice, right? What you say. Affirm the fact that you are going to make this change. Affirm the fact that this 90 days is going to be what propels you into a better 2026. That this is your jump start. Why wait till December 31st to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make a change, I'm going to start now. Start now. Your time is now. You don't have to wait. Okay, until tomorrow. Ahui ho. God's blessings always. Aloha.